Hot Flash is a book about menopause, and it's looking at menopause in culture and society, but it's especially looking at menopause as a legal issue. So, for example, what types of workplace accommodations should employers have to make if someone is having hot flashes? What if they need to be able to adjust their dress code, or they need a slightly different schedule?
Both law and society have traditionally ignored menopause. Part of our purpose in this book was attempting to break the silence and stigma associated with this inevitable biological process that approximately half the world will experience. What would school, work, employment, education, what would the marketplace look like if we fully took into account the realities of half the population?
So this book is really the product of a great collaboration.
Each of us brings different levels of expertise in different fields. Emily has a lot of background in anti-discrimination and employment law. Naomi Cahn is a specialist in aging and the law, family law.
Bridget has the tax law, the corporate law, that sort of experience. But Bridget also has a really deep expertise and interest in feminist legal theory. And believe it or not, menstruation and menopause span across all those different areas of the law.
What was incredibly surprising when researching this book is that we seem to be reaching a moment in law and culture where there is a willingness to talk about menopause for the very first time. From celebrities like Oprah Winfrey, political figures like Michelle Obama, Drew Barrymore. So this is no longer something that needs to remain in the stigma and shadow, but can take front and center of conversations about what would a truly equitable workforce look like.
The American legal system has been pretty silent about menopause. We have big federal statutes that deal with sex discrimination, age discrimination, and disability discrimination. And menopause really sits at the intersection of those issues. And yet it sort of falls through the cracks.
In terms of the legal and social treatment of menopause, we really see a perfect storm of gender, disability, and aging concerns. There is a special vitriol reserved for aging women in particular, and we see that manifest itself in jokes about menopause. We see that manifesting in stereotypes about people who have menopause and discrimination against people who are experiencing menopause. And that's not to say that menopause is only experienced by people of a certain age. One may have surgically induced menopause, associated with cancer treatments, for example, and trans and gender non-binary folks experience menopause as well.
In this book, we try to think through how the law could evolve to take account of menopause, with the idea that people have very different experiences of menopause, but ideally, everyone should be able to stay at work and really thrive at work.
I think the EEOC has a role to play in promulgating guidance that would encourage employers to make accommodations for folks who need to manage their experiences or manage their symptoms of menopause. I think employers themselves could take the lead in educating both employees and management about the needs of those who are going through menopause.
I think whether you are a lawyer or a law professor or a doctor or even just an interested person in society, this book has something for you. We talk about how menopause is depicted in TV and in popular culture. We talk about it in the context of health and medical education and spending on different sorts of research. We talk about it in the workplace, how it plays out, what sort of accommodations some employers are making to try to be more responsive to menopause.
So this book is for anyone who is interested in moving us toward a more just and equitable future. We can and are capable of changing to accommodate all people and all bodies.